And it looks like we're on the interwebs. Hello, everybody. I'm welcome to Planeswalkers, the ultimate episode. This is the last one that we're doing. I'm the host, Don Janier. With me tonight, we have the awesome players who have put up with this craziness for the better part of a year, and we're bringing the story to a final loop. So at the top of my screen, I've got Dix. You want to say hi to the world and plug yourself, buddy?
Yeah, my name is Dix. I'm a part of the Swordcast Adventures as well as the DM's Advice podcast called Help Action, and I'm also the DM for the Swordcast Adventures plays Waterdeep Dragon Heist every other Wednesday on Twitch.
Under Dix, we have Sean.
Hi guys, I'm Sean, aka No Tweet Sean on Twitter. I'm one of the thread writers. We will be running a charity coming up in February, so you can check me out on that.
Under Sean, we got Jess.
Hi, I'm Just Peck. You can find me at Help Peck Stream. I write D&D adventures. The most recent one is in Book of Seasons, and it's about a summer festival, so that's fun. And there's also unicorns. Oh, did I also mention it's tier 4?
Go big or
Awesome.
go home. And under Jess, we got Meg.
Yeah, hi, I'm Megan. I play Petra Argos, who is a knowledge cleric, and you can find me on Twitter at Ceramic Owlbear.
All right, so I'm going to do the summary here. Even though I made you guys roll for it most of the stream here, I want to make sure I get things right and set the stage for this last game here. So, having escaped from the Death House, putting the Durst family to rest, defeating the shambling mound that had been called into being by some sort of force in the desecrated bowels of the mansion. You managed to wipe that clean and eventually actually free even the spirits of the Dursts, which allowed you and gave you a little bit of guidance in organizing and controlling your Planeswalker's abilities, which allowed you to pull yourself free of Ravenloft and find yourselves adrift on the astral plane, where you were able to view the silver cords of your life that anchor you to the prime material plane and notice that they have all become intertwined. Staring out across this vast expanse of gray, you noted that there, at each anchor point for each of your threads, there was a different sigil and a marker of some sort. For Tur, it was an iron grate with symbols of flame embedded upon it. For Maladrak, it was a snowflake with dragon's wings coming off from the back. For Petra, it was a book that folded into darkness as you got closer to the middle of the spine. And for Raphael, there's in a completely different direction than everyone else, where your threads all headed down towards the prime material. His drifted up into the celestial planes and anchored on a spinning coin. And the four of you drifting in this astral place were drawn towards the energy of Strahd, but managed to bind yourselves together even tighter and essentially flee, drifting out of his area of influence. And you now find yourself adrift in this vast gray beige plane, knowing with the energy that you have combined together that you now have full control over your Planeswalker's abilities and will be able to get yourselves home, not just to the place that you left, but to the time that you left, driving your astral selves back into the different versions of prime material that you all left behind, and resolving the conflict that initially put you loose into the planes. And that's where we leave, or that's where we begin. It's where we do both. The four of you facing each other, drifting in the astral void.
So what do we do?
I don't know where half of these places are.
Well, I guess
Gotta
that's just it. We only know where we came. Let's go.
cool. So where's a good place? I don't want to go there. that looks like a dragon. That
There very well may be a dragon there.
we got what an oven. That seems nice.
Yeah, you say that it's nice until you're put in it by a hag.
Got it. All right. So that one then.
Yeah. So, I was in the library when I was taken, transported, whatever we want to call it. There's some pretty scary stuff in there, to be fair, but I very much would like to go back there. I want to give all my notes to the other researchers there. And once they have that, I'm very happy to come with you guys anyway.
Would there be a
My help,
place for us to rest there?
hopefully. I would think so.
Scary stuff. Research. Well, we want to go there.
Seems like it might be the best idea.
At least so we can get ourselves patched up.
Not arguing with the big guy. Let's go. Okay.
All right.
All right. So the four of you turn your attention to the book.
Mm-hmm.
All right. As I move you all to that map, I gotta copy you lot and drag you to the new map.
And as we're going or preparing to go, Petra will be telling everyone, you don't read anything, you don't touch anything. This area of the library is restricted for a very good reason.
All right. Give me a thumbs up when the new map is loaded for you. Dix is frozen, perhaps, so I can't tell
What?
if I'm giving me
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
There
2 thumbs up from Dick.
Wait, I'm not frozen?
Wasn't frozen, just
Not
concentrating.
yet. We'll save that for the dragon.
Yeah, right.
Just let it go, Dix. Just
Let it go.
So, you focus your energy on the book and immediately find that pull from the center of your being, snapping you down, flying through space at just breakneck speed, and there's this whoosh and a little thunderclap of displaced air, and you find yourself standing in the middle of a dimly lit library room. It's huge, gigantic library. The stacks of the books to both your left and right stand 20 feet tall, bookshelves about 2 feet high. Some of the books are literally like they are chained and locked in place. Some of the books are actually rattling at the shelves trying to get free. You notice the back wall has folded in and crashed. There is a bunch of rubble strewn there, loose rocks and stone. And in the darkness, you hear like a flapping, like pages getting turned very quickly in a bunch of books. That noise, and drifting out of that rubble and pile is a humanoid swarm made of books. And just to the north of it, there is an actual one of the bookshelves has been torn apart. You can see that the books from it are all missing, and they have gathered together. And Petra, as you look up, you can see the face and the head of this monstrosity, this swarm of dark knowledge, was the book that you had opened.
Dang.
Roll for initiative.
Yay!
20.
Oh, wait. Hold on.
So ready.
Click on the token first,
6.
then it'll do it.
So when we get out of the transportation, Raphael just. Just like-
Yeah, right away. I hate these transporters.
Oh. An easy way.
There we go. So, yeah, you find yourself facing this pile of books, and it immediately targets Petra, and its energy draws towards her, and you start seeing words on many of the pages. The pages in the chest and the arms open up, and you can see words starting to radiate energy and pulsing with light as it's focusing in on Petra. Maladrak, you're the first to act.
I look at Petra to try and get any sort of hint if something I should be worried about or not. Can I do like an insight check or something?
Yeah, absolutely.
26.
Nice.
What is
That'll
Petra?
do it.
What is Petra feeling in this moment?
Petra is getting a really good look at this monstrosity, for lack of better word. And she's very concerned about it.
Just a moment of intense curiosity on her face, and then you can just see like the eyebrows go up and this expression of horror start creeping in around the edges. She's not happy.
Okay. Was that my action then for that insight check?
Go for a bonus because it's a friend.
Okay. Then I will run forward and pull out my +1 battle axe and start to chop into this thing.
Alrighty. Got my stat block here on paper because I made it today at work.
For a 20.
That is a hit.
Solid.
And it's one-handed because I got my shield out.
All right.
So 7 slashing damage.
So slashing, your axe cuts into like one of the limbs, and you end up like ripping and slicing several pages out, and they fall apart and like start drifting to the ground. The letters and words on the pages curl up in ashy smoke and just kind of fade away in as the pages just crumble to the ground.
Sweet. I'm going to do it again with my extra attack.
All right.
For a natural 20.
What?
Nice.
Oh, snap!
All right. So it rolled the dice twice. No, it did not. So that's still I still got to double that. So that is 20. Yeah, 24 points of damage. Cool.
Sweet.
Down. Dang. Hooray, my monster gets to attack. I love it when it doesn't get to...
I would have had to run forward.
Yep, absolutely.
Insta-deft.
All right. So, the first thing that happens is the words that had been starting to brighten on it suddenly pulse, and everyone within 30 feet.
So everybody.
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 Is going to give a Constitution saving throw.
Oh boy.
Anybody within 10 feet of me gets a +3.
That is Tur.
Woo.
Yeah. All right. That plus 3
Nice.
gives me a 10.
That does not make it. Okay, so Raphael and Jess will each take 9 points of radiant damage. Maladrak and Petra will take 4 points of radiant damage. And it follows that up by
Learning hurts.
looking at Maladrak. And Maladrak, as you look up at this thing, another word flashes across the face as it looks at you, and the word spells pain in every language that you can read. You need
Fun.
a Constitution saving throw, please.
19.
Nice. Okay, so a wave of intense pain passes through you. The target has 100 hit points or fewer. You have less than 100 hit points. Okay. So at the end, so you are racked with pain until it's your turn. At your turn, you will break free of it, but it's essentially paralyzing you. You have disadvantage on everything except
All right.
except Constitution saving throws until it's your turn again.
Okay.
But that's all of it. That's all it does is those 2 attacks. Petra.
Oof. Okay. Okay. Petra has a question. Seeing that this is made out of books, is Petra, like, would I think that if I destroyed it, that the knowledge would also be gone?
Yes.
Okay. That's what I needed to know.
Welcome to your personal hell.
Okay. Then I am going to cast Aid at a high level. Let me grab that really.
Well, now big stuff.
Yeah.
What's it gonna be?
Okay, I'm gonna use my Pearl to cast Aid at 4th level, which, okay, we get 5 hit points and then 5 for each spot above 2nd, so we should get 15 temporary hit points for 3 of us. I'll say myself, Maladrak, and Raphael, I think. Yeah.
All right. So
So
3 of you
they're
each get
temporary hit points.
15 temporary hit points.
Yeah.
Cool.
Our max also goes up 15.
Any bonus action from you, Petra?
Not at this point. No.
All right. Tur, you are up.
All right. As a bonus action, I'm casting Zephyr Strike on myself. So now I can move 60 feet in 1 round, and I do not provoke opportunity attacks. So I'm going to take out Doom, going to run up and hit him, and we're going to find out if I do anything. Oh, I would also like to use this turn as to do an extra D8 worth of damage if I hit them.
Alrighty.
All right, so
That is a hit.
nice.
So that's an extra 8 points of damage.
I have to roll the D8
Ah,
to figure out if I hit or to figure out if I do max or not.
So 6 points of damage.
So it takes an additional 3 points of damage on top of that 6.
9 points of damage. Alright.
And so that was my bonus action, my action, and I'm going to move away from him.
It's a good choice.
Actually, I think I'll move over here.
Alright. So you're back to a pillar.
And that's the end of my turn.
Alright. Ending with your back to a pillar. Good choice. Maladrak.
Yes. Yep, if I was centered.
Yeah, Maldrak's just hopping.
Oh, sorry. No, it's Raphael. My bad. Sorry.
Oh, word.
Oh, okay.
Maladrak's on deck.
Raphael is going to move away from that thing because it just hurt him with knowledge, which is weird, and it didn't like it. So he's gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4. He's gonna get right here. He's going to use his bonus action and flip a small coin. You see the coin whoop, 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 get bigger. And he's going to summon it next to the thing. There it goes. So just the first one. Spinning coin is going to hit the book.
Nope, that's not right. There we go. And the coin races right into the middle of this book golem and just it starts batting. You see books get blasted out of the way, and then they slowly reform into the shape. It did a bunch of damage, though. That 2 attacks or just 1?
It's just one. Sorry,
So
just the
one.
first one.
Okay.
So the 19 for 7
7.
damage. Okay. And when he sees that, he's going to use his action to cast Sacred Flame.
All right.
You see from his drawn mace just a little like bright light, boom, and shoot like a small laser over there. So it is a dex save, DC 15.
Oh, just 16. Made the dodge. Okay. Now it's Maladrak's turn.
Yeah, I'm just gonna keep swinging.
After that last attack.
Oh wait, am I? Yeah, am I paralyzed still?
No, yeah, you made your con save, so you are good to go. Although after that coin blasted through this, you notice a bunch of the books have been blasted off to the sides, and the initial size of this thing has shrunk quite a bit. Between your attacks and Tur's and the coin blasting through it, the swarm of books has been like knocked. The books have been knocked out and knocked out of place, and spines ripped in half and battered to the point where they can't flap around anymore. It is smaller than it was.
All right. 24
That is a big ol' hit.
for 14 slashing damage.
Hey, Pitney, make it smaller. Chop it down like a tree.
And then I'm going to do it again
All right.
for 13.
That is a hit. That is just a hit.
All right. That's another 7.
All right. Oh, I have to add this as a turn. There we go, because that was at a 19. I forget when you delete things that it also deletes their turns. All right, so that's it for Maladrak. It is now the book's turn. Um, and what the book does is it throws its arms out to either side, and where the arms were, the books just take off flapping, and they attack the shelves on either side, um, breaking the chains on the shelves and releasing a bunch more books that form up into swarms of their own.
Oh no.
Gotta love that.
Yep.
Keep a good hold on your paper. You got any paper?
Yeah, and they will be moving shortly. So that was its action. As a bonus action, it will a bunch of words so pages open up again, and this time the words flash across your vision, and they say the word fire in every language that you know, and everyone within 30 feet. So Petra, Maldrak, and Tur, make a con saving throw, please.
God.
Terry, you still get +3.
Oh, sweet. I love that. Yeah.
Natural 20.
Yay!
8 total.
Wow.
Just killing it over here.
All right, so
Good
Tur,
use of that +3.
you take 7 points of fire damage.
Amazing.
Petra and Maladrak each take 3 points of fire damage.
Okay.
As the words almost brand themselves into your flesh. And it's Petra's turn.
Petra.
Mm.
Tur, you're on deck.
Yep.
Petra's going to yell out loud enough that everyone hear. We don't want to actually destroy it. Just
Oh,
maybe,
what?
I don't know, incapacitate it.
How do you incapacitate a book?
Books incapacitate me.
And Petra is going to try and use her channel divinity to read the book Surface Thoughts. It's a wisdom save, I guess.
All right. It's a 14. And as you attempt to do this, you can, like, you push your thoughts towards this book, this swarm of books, and there's a barrier in place blocking your attempt to read its thoughts.
Okay.
So that was your channel divinity, which is an action, so bonus action.
No bonus action, but I'm gonna back up.
her.
Um. Okay. What I would like to do is. Oh, quick question. With the Planeswalker abilities, when you empower attacks, have those other books come into play yet? The
No,
smaller
they have not.
words.
The smaller swarms, no, they have not yet.
Okay. Never mind.
You know that they're existing because you saw them form, and they're now like fluttering around, but they haven't joined combat yet. They're at the bottom of the.
Yeah, where are? Can you ping where they are on the screen? Because I might want to. Okay, so there's that one in the corner,
Yeah. So there's one
and then
here,
this one
and then
here.
there's one here. Yeah. Actually,
Was that all the books on this shelf, or was it
pretty
just
much.
some of the books on
No,
that
it's
shelf?
like those two shelves had already had a bunch of books ripped off of them, and these are the remainder of the books from those two shelves.
Awesome, cool. So what I would like to do then is I'm gonna run up on. Hang on, this one requires me to really make sure I don't get anybody else with it, but I want to use the psychic blast
Okay.
blast with the planeswalker ability.
Nice.
So I'm going to move. So this was how far? I'll move here,
Mm-hmm.
whatever that square is. So like 40 feet.
Yep.
Run up. Was it this square?
Yes, that'll work.
Yes. Okay. Because then I have an area of effect. It's like a blast that radiates from me in 15 feet in all directions. So I want to make sure I'm not hitting Maladrak, which I don't.
Just not. Okay.
Just not doing it. So then on here, on the notes thing, we're using 8 plus the proficiency bonus, which is 3, because we're now level 6.
Yep.
And then it's one of our choice, whether it's intelligence, wisdom, or charisma.
Correct.
Cool.
How you harness your mental energy is unique to each of you.
Okay, cool. And then that counts as an action, then, right, when I spend these points.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Then and also just another note, I'm still using my bonus action for Zephyr Strike.
Okay.
And I've already spent the extra stuff, but I'll still be able to move 60 feet. So yeah, I'm gonna Psychic Blast
And so the saving throw
these
for you.
bad Mamajimas. Yeah, so it'll be a Wisdom saving throw of 15 total.
All right.
Because I have a +4 intelligence modifier.
Just 15.
Rude.
So it takes half damage.
Okay, that's all right.
Yeah. 2d10 psychic
That's okay.
damage. Halved.
All right. So I have 3 points left until we take a short rest. And then now that I have done that to them, I'm gonna back up 20 feet.
Oh, wait, sorry, it rolled twice. The first roll was a 14. They failed. So
Oh.
yeah.
Yeah.
I just noticed that. So roll 2d10 for me, please.
Yes. Don't mind if I do.
Thank you.
19.
Nice.
Nice.
That's about as good as it gets. Wait.
Dang, girl, you angry.
There's Tur just rolls up, and you see like the flickering energy that you guys have come to associate with your Planeswalker's powers blast out from her, and multiple books that were in this swarm just drop to the ground, twitch, and then fall still.
Awesome.
So I guess that's how you incapacitate a book.
And the entire swarm shrinks to half the size that it was.
Awesome. Yeah, maybe do that. Maybe just think really, really hard about the books dropping to the floor, and maybe it'll happen.
All right, and then you had Zephyr Strike too.
Yes. Hang on a second. Just. Yeah, so I'm gonna back up. I don't want to be right near them.
Mm-hmm.
I want to make them come to me, so I'm gonna back up 20 feet by
Right
this
next to the
desk.
desk, yeah.
Right next to the desk. And that's it for me.
Alrighty. Raphael, Maladrak's on deck.
All right. Raphael is going to second verse, same as the first. He's going to activate his spiritual weapon to spin some more.
Alright, go for it. That is a hit.
All right. And then going to try Sacred Flame one more time.
And this one, it also causes it to shrink down as well, battering books out to the side. Unfortunately, this spinning coin is just shredder mode. It's just blasting through the books, ripping them apart. And then Sacred Flame, DC 15 Dex. Okay. A 6. That is a fail. And that
None.
blasts the remainder of these books. And you see the edges and the pages curling up and blackening as this radiant flame takes over and burns them all the way down to the spine. This initial swarm is roasted and shredded.
Sorry.
Maladrak.
Maladrak is going to use his full movement to run over to the other book swarm. And as he runs over there, his battle axe is going to start to flicker, and like with that same energy, as he uses his bonus action to empower attack. And then I'm going to attack this guy.
Groovy.
$16 to hit.
That is a hit.
And then I got to roll a d4 or a d6. 1. 1 force damage.
15 points.
Nice.
That still cuts this down to half its size, knocking books to the left and right, just cutting them in half. And they fall to the ground and twitch and just kind of lay there. All right, now we have the book pile that was.
I got a second attack.
You do too.
It's all good.
My bad.
It's all good. All right. That one's gonna miss though. I'm assuming for a 9.
That is a miss. Not by much, but it's more one of those things that when the axe passes through the swarm and the swarm just parts enough to let the axe go through it without catching any edges. And now we have one of the swarms, and it starts flapping and levitating off the ground, chases after Tur, and starts basically envelops Tur and is like flapping and beating and bludgeoning at her. That is a 13.
It's a swan.
That just meets.
Just that is 12
I'm
points.
so salty.
12 points of bludgeoning and slashing damage. So
Damn. Okay.
paper cuts and just books thumping into your head and a bunch of paper cuts. They're so painful.
There's so many.
Yeah. And then the
I'm
other
at exactly half health.
the other swarm. Oh, I forgot its bonus action. Bonus action.
Oh, of course.
A bunch of words flash across it, and it looks like there's not a lot of people within radius.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, Raphael's just out. So Petra and Tur, you see the word cold flash across, and you feel like instant shivers down to your bones. Please give me a Constitution saving throw.
All those saving throws that I'm the only saving throw that I'm not good at
16.
with regards to magic. Oh my god, I did it!
And without my help this time.
So 4 points of frost damage as ice coats your hair and eyelashes and skin, and you can feel like little bits of frostbite in like the shape of the word cold in every language that you understand.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're over to Maladrak. Maladrak, you are also enveloped by the swarm of books, and it attacks, slashing and beating at you for a 23.
Hit.
That's a hit. So that
Yep.
is 13 points of slashing and bludgeoning damage. And then it also flashes for a con save. And the word that is flashing across it is acid.
Ooh, fun. 13.
Not the feather.
That was the spell save DC, so you made it.
Oh, sweet.
So 5 points of acid damage. As you can feel it splashing onto your skin, and then you see it almost like curling and scrolling itself into script. Petra, you are up. Tur, you
Sounds
are on
bad.
deck. Can't hear you.
Petra.
Oh, there we go.
Oh.
No, you're good now.
We're good?
Mic
Okay.
threshold.
Petra is going to use her bonus action
Mm-hmm.
to use her Planeswalker ability to power her next spell.
Okay.
And she is cast a spell this same round.
That's the bonus action, so you still have your action.
Petra is going to cast Suggestion on the nearer of the two stacks of books, the one that's attacking Tur.
Okay.
And she wants to suggest to these books that they should be docile and allow people to eat them and take an extended rest.
All right. And what's the
What?
saving throw on that?
Don't need to chill.
Just reshelve yourselves. Just reshelve. So what's the saving throw on that one?
My spell save is 4.
And is it wisdom?
It's
That is an 11.
Nice.
That affects one group of books. So they immediately stop flapping around Tur and just sort of start floating just above her head. They can't move yet, it's not their turn, but
if I have anything left, I'm gonna be like, don't hurt them.
Tur, you are up.
I'm gonna hold my action.
Okay. What is your
with
trigger?
these books. If something happens where they are no longer docile, that's when my action will come into play. If they attack me.
Understood. Raphael. Oh,
I
sorry, go
I will move a bit from them, however.
ahead. As you move away from them, they don't flutter at all.
Cool. I'm gonna move 15 feet back.
Okay.
Just straight back. This one.
Alrighty. Raphael. Maldrak's on deck.
Raphael is going to move up to this corner here, and he's going to see that those books have been petrified. And no apologies made.
See yourself out.
He's going to use. He's going to kind of coalesce this Planeswalker energy in a little like glittery thing in front of him. They go like that and make a ranged attack.
Oh, go for it.
At this guy over here by Maladrak.
Alrighty.
Let's see.
That would be Yeah, Psychic Lance.
Do like this.
That is a big. Wow. That is maximum, almost maximum damage. Um, as this blast of psychic energy hits these books, a whole bunch of them just like slam closed and fall to the ground. All right. Action? Any bonus action?
Trying not to kill the books at the moment. He's going to use his bonus action. No, he has to use his move action to do that. Never mind. He does nothing else. That's it.
All right. Maladrak, you're up, sir.
Don't really have anything to subdue them with. I think I'm just going to move. And of course, they'll get an attack.
But your armor prevents you from getting paper cuts, and the smaller
Sweet.
the smaller books just bounce off of your back.
And I'm just going to say, Petra, what do you want me to do here? And I'm going to hold my action for in case I get attacked again.
All right. These books fly back to their shelf, and you hear like the chains rattling and re-engaging as the books land on the shelf.
Well done.
Yeah.
These
Thanks.
books. Let's see if they can pursue. You are just out of range. They get to here. They're like
Sweet.
fluttering towards Maladrak. And Petra, you are up. Tur, you're on deck.
Petra's just kind of gonna look out at everyone and go, "Well, I can't do that again." But what she'll do, she will get.
Try thinking really hard.
Right.
Used to hurt them. Which is kind of ironic.
Right. Petra is going to take a deep breath and go, "Well, we saved some of them." She will take a step back and use her action to see if she can gain back any of her power.
Alright. Roll a d6. Just shy. Unfortunately, you cannot harness the energy at this time. Tur,
Dude.
you are up.
All right. I'm going to go for it. So this is the only one left.
Yep, that is the only one that's active.
Okay.
I forgot to do its bonus action attack of word damage. Darn it.
Attack of pain.
Oh, don't you hate that? That's just the
When
worst.
the
So this
DM
is
forgets
half a
to-
block.
Yep. Yeah, there's
Mm.
rubble there, so it's difficult terrain in that last section.
Okay. Hang on, I'm trying to figure out how I'm not gonna hurt other people.
Oops.
Raphael would get hit. Maladrak would get hit.
Could hold your action, tell me to move, I'll move, and then you do your action.
Yeah. I think I was still holding my action from the last round anyway, so yeah, I
Oh,
can
yeah.
just hold again. I can get into place though.
Yep.
That'll be fine. So that would require Maladrak and Raphael to move if I got to like here.
They are the next two people in the chain.
Yeah, so I'll do that. I'll move here. And then that's 15 feet
Mm-hmm.
from me to them. Yeah, so I'm good here.
And what are you holding?
Once Maladrak has moved out of the way, I will do the rest of my movement to say get blasted
Alrighty.
with Planeswalker ability.
All right. Raphael, you are up.
All right, so you tell us to move?
Yes, please.
Okay.
If you're not going to do the psychic blasting.
Good. How far back?
15 feet.
Over there. All right.
Yeah.
He moves over there.
20 sounds good.
Yeah, knowing Terzlock.
Is that it for you, Raphael?
Fair.
Oob.
Any queuing anything or holding anything?
I guess in case it doesn't work, he'll prepare to like potentially blast it.
Okay. Maladrak.
Maladrak will, and then her thing happens.
Yep. All right. Maladrak can step back. Tur, go ahead
Cool.
and trigger your action, and then he gets the rest of his turn.
Yep. So I move up closer to it, and I'm going to do the psychic blast. So it'll need to do a wisdom saving throw. It'll have to meet 15. Meet or beat 15.
18.
And it-
So it takes half
Dang
damage.
it.
So roll those 2d10s.
Okay. All right. Dice roller. It was my last roll, so it takes 4
Yes.
damage.
So -4. All right. A bunch more books fall to the bottom. There's only like a half dozen smaller books, and it went from this very imposing swarm to like kind of a sad little book golem mannequin that's still ferocious but tiny. That one is off, and it is its turn. Tur, you didn't move
Well, no,
back.
it's-
Oh, sorry, it's the
It's
rest of
Maladrak's
Maladrak's
turn.
Maladrak's turn.
Oh, you froze up, buddy.
Sorry, I was thinking.
Okay. That's not freezing, that's thinking.
Yeah. Maladrak's can say, I guess I'll give it a try, and say, books be calm, and cast command.
Ooh. All right. What is your saving throw?
My DC. I can't remember where to find that on D&D Beyond.
Looks
Oh,
like you
it's
click on the
like
spell.
above where the spells are.
Command.
Could be
It's
relevant.
a Jedi mind trick.
Well, let's see. So,
I can look it up real quick here too.
it's going to be 14.
Ooh, just made it then.
Yep.
All right. So they flutter and their attention focuses on you for a second, and you realize, oh right, with this spell I have to just use one word, not a bunch of them.
All right. So, when they didn't work,
It did not work.
I'm going to use my bonus action to shred them.
Right, because you had held that. Okay. So the coin moves into place and spins away.
Let's shred them, boys!
That is a hit.
ridged edges of the coin.
Leaving one small book fluttering in place with words starting to like light up on it. But that's it. There's just one book out
There's
of the
one
whole
book
batch.
left.
Petra.
Away from that. I'm going to use all my movement. Get up. I guess I act to get the rest of the way there and see if I can grab it.
Yeah, just make a unarmed attack.
Oh.
You managed to.
Do it.
All right, so you managed to grab the book out of the air.
Oh,
Give me
nice.
a strength check, please.
Okay,
Punch the book.
okay. Yeah. Not a.
Oof.
So not
Nat
only do
20.
you manage to grab it, but you manage to grab like the flapping edges and snap it closed, and like you feel it like an alligator's mouth trying to open, but it's just not as strong on the opening, and you're like, nope, you're done now, and you've
You just mommed that book.
Yep.
just
Yeah.
bombed it.
Mm-mm.
Just no, just no.
You're
You're
done,
done.
kid.
Yeah, puts it in her arm.
Yeah.
And we are out
Love
of
it.
combat.
Oh, my
Perception
goodness.
checks from everyone, please.
Okay. This desk is really in my way.
Oh yeah, me too. I'm
Okay,
a little distracted
so
by this book.
under the pile of rubble at the end of this bookshelf, Petra, you see a shape and a form that you'd only ever seen in a mirror before, and you are looking down at your own body.
What?
What? Ah!
You can see where your eyes were, there is just like a black sunken void with like really heavy goth makeup that's like gone down your face a little bit. Your cheeks are shriveled in. It looks like your life energy had been pulled right out of you.
That's so wild.
Are you dead?
Right? I was gonna say Petra's gonna call Raphael over here and ask him what he makes of
What the? You?
Mm.
Put your right in there. Huh. Has Raphael seen anything like this before?
Give me a
Has
history
Petra
check.
either.
Petra, you can do religion check. Raphael has a backstory that would cover this with history. So you can do history or religion, Raph, and Petra can do history. I can do religion.
Nice.
So the two of you start
Another
comparing
20.
notes and talking theology really quickly, and between the information that Raphael can share about his knowledge of traveling through celestial planes, as what happens to a person when their astral form leaves their body for an extended time period.
Oh.
While your spirit, your core astral self, is alive, somehow held cohesively together through the power of your planeswalker's ability, your physical form has and is dead.
Whoa.
You start realizing that maybe that moment when you were
Ah,
that you first bounced out and did a planeswalk for the very first time, that it wasn't all of you that transferred energy across the planes.
Oh.
Oh.
And that starts to sink into everybody else that went through a same experience.
huh.
That's fucking metal.
So,
Mm.
that's the way it's going to be. Okay.
So if you're like that, does that mean
Eh.
that all of us?
It means there's a chance. Yeah.
Probably.
Um,
So does that mean that we can't really go home because we're not we don't have our
I-
bodies?
We've simply ascended to a greater form.
That doesn't make me feel better.
But we can't go home. We could go just about anywhere from what I could tell. I personally am going to take this as a great step to godhood right now. Yep. That's definitely what's happening. Putting a positive spin on it.
okay. Petra is going to address everyone, sort of say, I'm still figuring out how to process that, but I do we should place to rest.
Agreed.
You remember that to the north and south here, there are like private reading rooms and study rooms that scholars would spend days in. So it is a safe and secure place, shielded from magical energy that you can, in fact, rest safely in. The third exit over here is back to the main library. You're not quite sure what happened with the rubble over here. That probably happened just shortly after you planeswalked for the first time.
Slightly destructive, potentially.
Those book swarms, while you made short work of them, were highly destructive and able to channel virtually any kind of magical energy, and they did.
Okay. Petra is going to invite everybody to a reading room top.
Okay.
It's a place that we can group for right until we figure out what.
I won't bother changing the map for a reading room, but you can all gather in there safely. It is a 20 by 20 room. There's some heavy leather chairs and ottomans, a sidebar. There's no foodstuffs or anything in here, but there is a bunch of alcohol, and also like piles of paper and inkwells. And you can very comfortably sit in and have a long rest. While you
Yeah, Muldrak has a few drinks.
Tur's gonna be laying on the floor staring at the ceiling. Not saying a word.
So, Raphael's going to ask Petra to go over to where her is, if she doesn't mind.
Yeah. Petra is fine with it, but first we'll write a note to Mom.
Oh, I don't mean to be rude or anything, Yeah, but you didn't happen to have anything on you that you may have like wanted. Perhaps you lost some things. You may want to check your other
Oh,
half.
not a bad plan. Um, so Petra's going to leave on the table, though, a note as well as her notebook and a pouch for her body.
Okay. Give me an investigation check while you search your own corpse.
As you search your own corpse.
Over here, like, no.
Oh.
No.
Yep.
Yeah.
So going through your stuff, you like it's such a weird feeling. Looking through all your own stuff, you were only wearing like your clerical robes at the time, and you had your study materials with you, and in your belt pouch you had a vial of really expensive magical ink that you use for inscribing your tomes. Um, and you had a potion of superior healing that you had been hanging on to for that day that you would go on an adventure. And you had most of your spell components.
Sorry. I have a healing potion. I've got spell.
Yes,
What's
you
the
have
other thing?
magical ink, spell components, and a superior healing potion.
Good. I'm gonna take those. Yes.
Other than that, everything that you had, you have, including that trinket that was so very important to you. It's weird to see a duplicate of it. All right, so whilst Petra's doing that, Tur is laying on the ceiling. Any thoughts that she's sharing, or is it just...
Oh, no, it's just laying on the floor in like existential dread. It's just blank face, like, yep, okay. All right. That's what we're dealing with.
that's a thing that happened. Okay. Just doing that mental math. Okay. Raphael, anything that comes up for you, having already traveled through the celestial realms for quite some time?
So, I guess once Petra comes away from her body, he's obviously not going to be like heavily involved in that. It's obviously a very personal moment. He will wait until she comes back and kind of just look up at her and say, "Kid,
What?
you okay?" And it's weird, you know.
Yeah. It is.
You get used to it.
Yeah. I think I might have to.
But all right, all right.
And Maladrak is just sitting in one of the large chairs. After a couple glasses, maybe just switches to the bottle itself.
Kind of doing the same thing Tur's doing, just like staring off. Just like, fuck.
Witcher quote.
All right, so a long rest passes. As you sit and contemplate, everyone's sort of lost in their own thoughts, thinking of those moments where you passed beyond and traveled to a different plane, and what that could mean, and what you have left to clean up. Uh, Maladrak thinking of the two teams that he was leading on the Dragon Assault. Tur at the hag that might still be alive and still hunting the children of her village. And Raphael thinking of that item that you lost and the bet that might still be due that you haven't paid up yet.
Hmm.
And where next will you go?
We're taking time.
Yeah, you get a long rest.
Mhm. Um, Petra is going to bring out her spell book. Prompt everyone for a little more information about where we might be going. Expressing that, like, I can allow us to breathe underwater, but that takes a while. I'm just not sure what in some of the other situations because I haven't been.
Last thing I remember, I was raking in a bunch of dough on a bet, and they didn't like me so much. I do remember doing this little minor thing. It's just something my goddess gave me. It's no big deal. But you getting I saw you get your drink it there, and that's just making me think of that. Yeah, it's kind of the source of my luck, and been missing it a little bit. What about you guys? Where were you?
I got stuck in an oven in a hag's house.
That
Like I was a holiday pig. And then like Tur just starts laughing and doesn't stop until she's like crying. Just like having a total meltdown now.
So, like, you were charmed? Or something?
Yes. Yeah, she convinced me to put myself on the platter that she had made. She stuck an apple in my mouth and then into the oven I went.
Suggestion is a powerful spell.
Yes.
It also doesn't help when your ranger has a -1 in charisma.
Yup.
And I got advantage on charisma saving throws against magic, and I still failed.
that sounds pretty traumatic. Wow.
Everyone's eyes just sort of slowly drift over to Maladrak as he sits there drinking.
I was in a cave trying to take out a white dragon. Last thing I remember is just being covered with ice. And then I was in a tree. In that fucking forest.
By yourself?
For a moment, and then I saw Petra walk out of nowhere.
No. Back up. Wait. The dragon. You were taking on a dragon?
Oh no, there
Just
was
you.
There was a group of us, 2 groups of us. It attacked our area.
Tur kind of sits up and goes, "Well, I can speak Draconic now. So maybe we can..."
Now,
Yeah.
you couldn't before?
No.
I think she's correct.
No.
I don't think she's the only one.
Yeah, so Ter like pulls her backpack around and then opens it up, and then the little quaddle that she bought at the market pops out. My friend here has taught me. Maybe I can speak to the dragon and figure out what its deal is. And maybe we can save your people.
If you want to try, they're not really known for bartering.
We could give it a shot.
That we could. Either way, I'm going back.
But do we need to go right now? Like, can we like not do that? I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how this all works.
Well, in the times that I've popped in and out of existence, time moves really weird. So there's a very likely chance that we can still save your people even if we do other stuff first. Because when I originally popped back into the hag's house, I was able to save the child from my village and set him free and made sure he got home to his parents. But I wasn't able to deal with the hag by myself before she could do any more harm to me. That's kind of when I came back to you.
Got a good point. We might be able to maybe like help out your family, your friends.
Yeah, well, if we're doing other stuff, let's get it done. Where are we going?
You said you were gambling, Raphael?
I mean, you
Maybe we
could
could
call
use-
it that. I may have known what the odds were.
Ah, so you're cheating. You're a cheat.
Cheating is it's a harsh word. I just happen to have connections.
Cheating. All right. Well, your ill-gotten gains may prove to be helpful. So if we go get the money that you said you were raking in, maybe we can better gear up for the
Or do you want
friendly
to use it like
hag
a bribe?
hut and the dragon escapade.
That's good. That might work.
It's not a bad idea.
Okay.
So let's go deal with the hand we were dealt.
Just a warning to all of you. The people that I was dealing with, they're not very nice. And they're really big. And I don't just mean big to me. They're big to like everybody. Giant, you might say.
It wouldn't be our first time dealing with a giant.
Good point.
All right.
Nope.
So the four of you gather together, start focusing your energy, and you feel that you've reestablished that link. And there's a moment of twisting in your stomach, and you find yourself back in the endless gray void. Looking around, you see that the silver cords that extend from each of your navel to the different cores. Petra's is just wrapped around her, forming this shining beacon that's standing alone in the astral plane, while the three of you all have tethers. And from her points, there's little webby tendrils that reach out to each of your silver cords. She has unmoored herself from her anchor point. Focusing your energy, you draw yourself towards the silver coin. Ter's carrying the light.
My sparkling personality.
And you start following that thread that spins out from Raphael, and you see yourself drifting away from the other icons, passing through span of gray until you get to what looks like a giant portcullis, just crisscrossing bars of energy. You're all so small that you pass right through it without touching the edges, no trouble at all, and you start drifting towards this golden glow. And as you get closer and closer, you can see that it is a disc-shaped city floating on what appears to be a pile of money. Golden arches, silver caps, platinum domes, and lights and sounds and music coming from every tower. And you find yourself spiraling around these and landing on an entrance. And as your feet hit the ground, there's that momentary shock of solidity that grabs you once again. And you look up, and the arches are 40 feet high. The doorways have knockers on them the size of Raphael, 3 and 5 feet across. On either side of the doorway is a giant clad in armor that is, it could be solid gold or it could be gold plated, but they're covered in this ornate gold armor with elegant, huge headdresses and spears. And they appear to be bickering. One turns to the other one's like, Timora, I said I was sorry. And he's crossing his arms, and the male giant crosses his arms and looks away from the other one. Lies. It's just always lies with you.
Hey, maybe we could take advantage and get in there.
I was gonna say, Petra's gonna cast Pass Without a Trace.
All right, give me stealth rolls. I don't
That's
have
a plus
map.
10, right?
I don't have a map for this one because it came up sort of last minute where we figured out what we were going to do. So that is plus 10, yes.
Nice. 27 total for Tur.
So it's just Petra. There we go, 16. Okay. So as you start approaching this gate, one of them's like sniffling a little bit, the female sniffling, and she goes, starts looking around, and her eyes lock on Petra. As the rest of you are like creeping around the back edge behind the male giant, female like focuses down on Petra. Oh. A knowledge cleric? What are you doing at the casino?
Learning.
Really? She takes a knee and then leans down really, really close. Tell me more, little human. What is it that you plan on learning?
Well, I've never been to a casino before, so I suppose what this establishment is.
She scowls a little bit. And what have you brought to gamble with?
That is a good question.
Excellent. She turns and opens the door.
Oh
like,
shit!
Come on in.
Oh yes.
Woo! This is gonna be
I
fun.
mean,
Yup.
yellow.
Yep.
So the giant opens the door for you, and as she opens the door, she like pulls it open, and it's open long enough that the rest of you have a chance to enter undetected. Okay,
Doing that.
I see
Yep.
nods. So okay, you all slip in, and Petra, you are allowed to walk in. As the door opens, you're bombarded with sound. There is music playing louder than you have ever heard. There are lights shining from the ceiling. Everything seems to be covered in gold or platinum or jewels. There are tables spread out all across what appears to be almost like an arena, a vast, deep pit. And there are people standing at each table and many other people standing around playing it, and there are games of cards and dice and spinning wheels and things that you can't quite understand, where there's floating orbs in the air that are changing colors and people are reaching out and touching them and throwing coins at them. It's all very confusing. Raphael, you've been here before. Give me a perception check.
Oh boy.
Nice.
Across this pit, you can look across and you see on the far side of it is the pit boss. And the pit boss is this cloud giant, and he is rolling between his fingers ever so tiny thing, just this little shiny piece of gold. And he's smiling as every few minutes a smaller giant brings over like a pile from one of the tables and like drops it down at his feet, and he's just sitting in this massive gold chair, and you see chits and tokens and weapons and all kinds of things rolling up to him, and you can hear his voice across the entire echoing across the place as he laughs and says, "Ha ha! The house always wins."
Oh no.
Oh, no.
Oh, great.
As those words
Mm.
echo across your ears, the door shuts behind you. Thump. And a small satyr comes running out of nowhere up to Petra and hands you one card that's about yay big, made out of solid gold, and holds it out to you.
What's this for?
This is your gambling chit.
How much does it cost?
Exactly what you bargained for when you entered.
Oh no.
Can I change that?
You can break it into smaller portions, absolutely.
Oh boy.
May I have one instead
Oh.
or something else?
Oh no. You made your choice when you walked through the door.
Oh no.
Thank you. And he just he pretty much like takes your hand and puts it in your hand. And as soon as it touches your skin, there's like a little picture of you on it.
Oh boy.
That's kind of
Oh no.
Okay, thanks. Happy gambling.
that one.
And he skips away.
God damn it, Petra.
You may not want to use that. Although you could get it one of the big tables with it. Don't listen to me. I have a problem.
So
Yeah,
here then, what are we doing?
So looking at this little card, you do see picture of you, and underneath little etching starts appearing. VIP high roller access underneath. You brought in the big guns to gamble with. I was not expecting this, but okay.
Apparently. I'm like, I was trying to buy time while I looked at what I had in my inventory.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
All right. So here's the deal. The pit boss is over there. He's got my coin, and I need that coin. I really need it. I don't know where I am.
You
This is a big
the
place.
three of you are just kind of inside the door, hanging out by the hinges. Like just like one of the few shadowy places, like a potted fern, um, right next to you. It's like one of those tall, ornate indoor plants. You're all just kind of hanging out there as Petra's like processing.
Yep.
If we use that card, we could get into the lounge for them. We could get to him, but we got to get him by himself. If we try to get him here on the floor, everybody will gang up on us.
Well, where were you when you were at the table, right?
I guess we could go there, but I gotta stay disguised. And he snaps his fingers, and he changes into a halfling.
Okay.
Let's go. He's gonna attempt to lead them to where he was.
Okay. If you all follow, yes, no.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as you all follow, Raphael leads you through casino, a bunch of low stakes games. You see people betting with uh, platinum pieces and gold pieces and magic items that have all been converted into little chits that they can bargain with. You see that there is a teller that is exchanging things where people are handing over items, getting chits for them, or returning chits and getting things in exchange for them. There's a massive amount of exchange happening here, although it is largely in favor of the house. Um, as you're passing through the tables, can everyone give me perception checks, please?
16 from Tur.
21.
Okay.
6 from Petra.
Petra is still staring at this chit with the picture of
I
her on it.
was wondering. Yeah.
But Raphael, Maladrek, and Jess, you notice as you're passing through, just kind of glancing at the tables, that there's a lot of people that are having very bad rolls, very bad cards coming up for them. It's like a guy sitting there with like an ace on the table, and you can see as the dealer pulls up a king, and as soon as it lays it down on the table, and it turns into a 5, just as it hits the table in front of this guy. As soon as it comes up visually to him, you're seeing that there's luck is working against these people right now. And eventually you get to the VIP lounge. As the group of you get up there, there is a giant sitting cross-legged on the floor, just kind of scowling, looks at the three of you. Pass. Looks.
Can we point? Can we point at Petra's chit, her rather large chit?
You just point there, and he nods and like lifts this velvet rope and pulls it back. And as he like pulls the velvet rope back, you can feel the magical energy that was holding the barrier in place dissolve, and you're able to walk into this High Rollers Lounge. It has a variety of chairs and tables, various sizes, so that everyone can sit at the table and still be like relatively same height. Um, you're immediately offered. On one side, there's a huge buffet. On the other side, there's an assortment of drinks and fruits, and there are waiters and waitresses of assorted species, flying elves, sylphs and nixies and pixies and assorted other fey creatures that are serving drinks to everyone. One comes by with like a tray of canapes and flutters around in front of you really quickly before flying away. And you have your choice of tables. At one side of the room, there is a group of people that are playing a dice game, and at the other side is a group of people playing largely a card game that you're unfamiliar with.
Okay. Raphael starts gravitating toward the dice table. It's over
Is-
here.
All right.
Petra's just gonna grab his shoulder before we're fully there and go, "No, really, I'm concerned about this."
That's
There's,
valid. That's valid. You want to make a plan? We could do that.
Well, what kind of magic stuff do we have on us that we can use instead of that shit?
Really, any of your weapons would be an acceptable bargaining chit.
Oh, I don't want to give up Thume.
Now, as you're looking around here, Raphael, you remember that there's 5 to a table. The 5th seat is always the house, and that everyone plays against the house or against each other, with the house managing and taking a slice of the pot. At the dice table, the game is Liar's Dice. I don't know if you're all familiar with it or not, but it's a very simple game where each person secretly rolls 5 six-sided dice, and everyone announces their bet based on how many dice of the same type are going to be at the entire table. So
Oh,
betting proceeds around the table from a randomly selected person. So you can say out of 5 people rolling 5 dice, the most would be 25. You can say something like, I bet 12 threes. And the next person will have to either outbet you or call you. If they call you, everyone reveals their dice. And if you have what you bet or more, you are a winner. If there is less than what you bet, you are a liar, and you lose whatever it is that you anteed up.
Huh.
oh gosh, that's
And
intense.
who
And
gets
so,
what you?
how it happens is if a person calls you, your bet goes up directly against their bet. So whatever they put on the table is direct challenge to whatever you have at the table. So there's also some strategy there, because they might not have something as valuable as what you put on, but they still get to call because of the seat order. Because and it has to go all the way around the table where everyone has to have a turn before the round is complete and you can leave. But that being said, you can deceive, you can intimidate, you can straight up lie. Or you can
Cause
just,
a distraction.
yep.
Take all the money and run.
You can use sleight of hand to attempt to change what dice are actually in your hand. There's all these different options that can happen at Liar's Dice, and they are all pretty much accepted practice as long as you don't get caught. It's part of the game.
Okay.
So the 4 of you could play against the house.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Raphael goes up in his halfling form, goes up to the pit boss.
Oh, what do you want
Is,
there?
Oh, hi. Yeah, I just, I was real curious. I noticed you got a little coin there.
Yeah, I do. Won it off of. He looks around for a second, reaches into the pile next to him, and pulls up this like just kind of beaten up and like shredded corpse of an Aarakocra like rainbow plumes. Just want it off of this guy. Gonna have him stuffed.
Rough.
Holy shit.
Oh my god.
Wow. That. What? So. What is it? It looks special.
Oh yeah, this is a piece of pure, undiluted luck from the lady herself. Whatever you call her. Yeah, the house always wins. And he like flips it in the air and catches it without looking.
Uh, you willing to play for something like that?
Yeah, sure. What do you got to bet? You gotta make
Yeah, I
it worth my
mean,
while, kid.
let me consort for a moment. All right, the deal. Um, I've got my shield. I've got my mace. I can create something to try and trick him, but I don't know if that's a good idea or not. I really want him to go for the deal.
Uh. What do I have?
All right, while we have a moment for everyone to sort of go over inventory and consider what they're willing to put on the line to win back a chunk of Raphael's uh, luck, we're going to take a 5-minute bio break and let you guys ponder on that. And yeah, when we come back, we're going to see what goes down in the betting room. Dun dun dun.
Dun dun dun.
Dun dun dun.
And we're back. All right. So, everyone is looking at the table. The pit boss has been invited over by Raphael to sit at a table. And he looks at the cards, and he looks at the dice, and he looks at Raph, and he sits down at the dice table, and the seat adjusts to level him. And he goes, "So, what are you putting on the table, everybody?" You see 4 other chairs sort of rise up out of the ground, adjusting themselves to heights that will allow you to sit and face the table.
Just imagining this cartoonish chair you sit in that just like you pull a lever and it goes boom, and like
Yep,
just brings you
all
way
the
up
way
to this
up.
giant level. Raph is going to put his shield and his mace down.
Tur walk up and drop the very, because she took the claws from all 4 paws of the owlbear and she puts that on the table.
He raises an eyebrow, sniffs at it. "There's no magic, love. Put it back around your neck and put something worthwhile up."
It can be used as a spell component. Is that
Mhm.
not magic?
It could also be used to scratch my ass, and that's not magic either.
Dang! Yep, that's a pit boss, all right.
Oh, all right. She begrudgingly puts Thuum on the table.
As soon as it hits the table, it's like a little outline appears around it, and like you can see like the specks pop up. Same thing for Raphael's shield and axe, and he's like, yeah, that'll do. He looks over at Maladrak. "How about you, fella?"
Maladrak will set out a potion of fire resistance.
He looks at it and looks at you. "I thought this was the high stakes table." And he turns to Petra and starts. You see this big smile start crossing his face. "Oh, somebody came to play. Hello, darling. What do you got in your hand?"
Megan, I think you're muted.
Thank you. I
There
was
you go.
coughing. Petra will kind of look at him hesitantly and say, "I've brought a few things, but I'd like to start with this." And she'll put in the Tome of Undeath, that magic book.
He looks and he goes, "Not bad." I'm gonna roll a perception check for this dude.
Oh, sure. Like, Tur's gonna start muttering under her breath. Oh, sure, a book. But not fucking owlbear claws.
Yeah. When you see the book, actually, like as soon as it hits the table, it's like the spec description pops up above it, detailing the magic in it, and it's a fairly powerful book. He goes, "The lot of you are stacking the table against me. Don't think I don't get that."
What's the matter? You scared?
Tur's just gonna look at Raphael out of the corner of her eye and be like, "Man, if I lose this maze," or
He just does a slow blink. "I'm risking pure, undiluted luck, and you come to me with this little shit."
I'm gonna pull the potion off the table and put my speed flail up there.
His eyebrow goes up. "Alright, now we're talking." And he puts, just as he's about to put the coin at the table, he looks at Petra. He goes, "Don't think I don't want a chance at that brick you got hand in there, honey." tell you what. I'll sweeten the pot. This and something better than what you put on the table for each of you if you throw that card down that you're holding so tight.
Oh damn. Yep.
I came here to learn how to play, but I'd rather have a practice round.
All right.
Oh, come on, Petra. No, come on. You can do it. Come on. You can do it.
Tur's just gonna give Raph an elbow.
The giant looks at
All
you.
right. I got it. How about me instead of the girl? How about that?
Roll persuasion for me.
Woo!
He nods his head and like flicks his nose over to one of the handlers, and the little satyr comes running up to you with like a little gold chit and hands it to you.
Thanks, Reggie.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And as you say that, as you catch it and say it, the illusion drops. And you see
Oh shit!
a little Aarakocra at the table, and like just as you're nodding and saying yes, he puts the coin down as you've got this chit in your hand, and he's like, "Well, son of huh. All right.
How you doing, honey?
You tricksy little bastard. All right. Throw it on the table. Let's do this."
Just drops it.
All right. Yep. The chit hits the table, and you can see like a little stat block pops up of Raphael, Fuchsia himself. Okay. So, what we're gonna do is each of you is gonna do the slash roll 5d6. I'm going to hide mine. And then we will begin the betting. So we're going to begin the betting with Raphael. So you look at the dice that you've got up. You can use sleight of hand if you want to try and adjust them, or you can bluff, or whatever else you want, working with the rest of the group here. So
Okay. He is going to see if he can get some more fours. So he's going to sleight of hand these dice.
oh, just yeah. The 20 was the DC for adjusting them under the scrutiny of a casino.
Damn.
So, you can adjust two of the dice.
Okay.
So you
he
got 4 4s then.
Yeah. We'll do 4 4s and a 6.
Okay. 4 4s and a 6. All right. Petra, you roll your dice. You've heard what Raphael has said. So to better him, you have to go for a higher number or more of. So your bet would have to be at a minimum 5 4s or 4 5s. You get what I'm saying?
I think so.
Actually, it could be 5 of anything really, but the minimum would have to be 5 4s or 5 somethings.
All right.
So what you know is what he said and what you see.
Right. So he said 4 4s.
Oh, that's what I should
4
do.
4s.
I should get you guys to whisper your rolls to me so that only you and me will know them.
Oh, okay.
So Petra,
I forgot how to whisper.
/ whisper, or just as at the bottom. Yeah. Give it a shot. If it doesn't work, we'll do it somewhere else.
Here, I'll roll a 1d6. or like a D10
Yeah, just to
to
try it out.
test it.
So while that's happening, all the eyes at the table turn to Petra. What's your bet there, Missy? You said you wanted to learn. This is what you do. He says 4 4s and a 6. You got to do 5 something.
Oh, I was just saying like what I had.
Oh, okay, that's not your bet.
No. So,
Sorry, what's your bet?
so let's go. Let's go with 3 4s for his bet.
Okay, 3 4s. So he goes. So you have to do at least 4 4s or 4 somethings.
Petra's gonna peek at her things. And oh, um, 4 2s.
All right. And looks like Raphael, Petra, Maladrak is next.
Jess, did you figure out how to whisper?
Hang on a second. I'm trying to see if it'll also. It's not really taking the roll with it.
Okay, just go ahead and roll them.
All right.
Just /roll 5d6. You guys are hearing what the everyone else is saying anyway, so.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's not good.
Wait, did we get the same roll? We got the same roll.
Nice.
How does that even happen?
I mean,
If
Yahtzee.
only the streak
but,
was good for this game.
Yahtzee.
That is a pretty low chance.
All right, so Maladrak, eyes turn to you next. So the current bet stands at 4 2s or 3 4s.
I'm gonna say, 3 6s.
3 6s, huh? All right, and he looks over at Tur.
5 4s.
He's like, what?
All right. You got 4. You're saying 5 4s?
5 4s.
I'm gonna go 5 5s. And then we're back to, so we don't roll anymore, but the betting continues until somebody calls bullshit. So we are at Raphael. You can stand or bet.
6 4s.
6 4s. There's Raph, then Petra, and Maladrak, and then Tur. Petra? The guy, he looks at you. Do you want to do better than 6 4s?
This is a very strange game, built off very little information.
The information is all around you. It's in the eyes and the shoulders and the face of everybody that sits at the table. If you think the game is about the dice, then you're not paying attention.
Petra kind of like turns and said everybody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
To clarify, we're not making bets on what we specifically rolled. We're trying to guesstimate how many of those numbers collectively have been rolled at the table.
Correct.
Yep.
Including.
Okay, all right. I just wanted to make sure I had it.
Yeah. So out of the 25 dice that have been rolled, you're now betting on what each of those numbers is at the table without being able to see other people's hands. So you don't know what he rolled and you don't know what anyone else has rolled, but you know what they've announced.
Yeah.
Well, everyone else fours will be popular. So
7 fours.
7 fours. Okay. He looks at Maladrak. You standing or betting? How do I turn
Let's say 8 fours.
He looks,
Oh, this is dense.
he looks at Tur.
Yeah, can I what was his what was his
He had bet
his
five.
announcement?
He had bet 5 fives.
I
Can I do an
Mhm.
insight check on that to see if he's lying?
Yeah, absolutely.
19.
Ooh.
He's guessing.
Alright. So we're up to 8 fours.
8 fours. Yep. 8 fours against 5 fives.
Yeah.
Do I call him on it? Because I know he's guessing.
It's a tough call.
It is a tough call.
You also have the option of no, never mind. I was gonna say
So
you could call Maladrak and his stuff.
Yeah, you can call anybody else on the. You can call the last person that bet. So you could call Maladrak that he's a liar, and you would take his shit.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So
I
I'll.
don't know that would benefit us though.
But
Well, if I
That's the
win,
thing is-
right?
what
I still win the pot.
it's at this point
Well, no, but we need to beat the house.
you need to beat
Okay.
the house.
Yeah.
All right.
It's already 4-1 advantage though, so you can leave the call at 8 fours, which is where it's currently at, or you can call him on his lie or truth, and then we will actually find out if he had what he bet.
I don't know how I feel about being the one pulling the trigger. I want her to have some, like, character growth and not, like,
You can just
fire off.
you
at the
can
hip.
just call. You can call.
Yeah.
And
So
wait.
So Tur just kind of looks at everybody, takes a deep breath, and then says, "I'll call."
John looks. He goes, "All right. Well, I guess we're gonna see which one of us is telling the truth and which one of us is liars." And he turns over 3 fives and 2 threes. So now we have to go back and look at the math to find out if there's 1 more 5, there is 2 more 5s, 3 more 5s, 4 more 5s. So he has a total of 7 5s. He had bet 5. And y'all bet 8 fours. How many fours do we have? 1,
Yeah.
2, 3, 4, 5, and the 2 that Raphael changed. 6, 7?
Didn't. Oh, he does not also
So
have
he's
a
got
4.
so he's got 4, 5, 6, 7, and you had bet 8 fours. 8 fours, and he's got 8 fives. As you guys are revealing this, last chance to try any trickery. Is there anything that you're going to try and do? Because it starts going around the table. Raphael reveals his 4 4s, and the rest of you kind of do some mental math as to how many 4s you each have in your hands, and you can start seeing the wheels spinning. Oh shit! Okay, I have to do a change here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's got 6 5s because Raphael changed 2 of his dice to 4s, and he said he had 4 4s and a 6. So
Oh yeah.
that takes away that 5. Okay, so he has, then counting here properly, 1, 2, 3, 6 5s. He bet 5 5s, so he's still in the clear. Y'all just have to beat him with 4s, and we've got 1, 2, 3 plus 4. That's 7 4s, but you bet 8.
We bet.
My sleight of hand is
Need
shit.
one more 4.
Yeah, same. I got a +2 to sleight of hand.
So you come up with another
Mine's +1.
You can come up with another strategy on the fly as you're doing this.
Fuck.
I do have my quaddle, but I don't know how I can use my quaddle at the table.
Now just keep in mind, you can't do table talk to figure it out. Somebody's just going to have to do a thing, and everybody else will have to react. So Raphael has laid his dice open. All eyes turn next to Petra. Petra, what are you doing?
I'm going to use thaumaturgy to blow over, like to cause like a little gust of wind on the table. And he'll just be like, "What do you got?" And it just like re-roll Tur's dice or knocks them over, like something like that.
Okay, so what's going to happen here is against Tur, you said for Tur's dice or Petra, because Petra's revealing hers.
I don't know. Well, I wouldn't know anyway. So yeah, probably Petra's dice.
Okay, so Rafa says, "What do you got?" And there's this little gust of wind, and the table shakes ever so slightly. Please re-roll 5d6.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Okay.
Oh no!
Calm down. I only have 1 4 and 1 5, so hold on.
Could go either way, really.
Yeah, it could. Oh,
Yes!
look at that shit!
Petra saves
Oh
the
my
day.
god!
3 4s and 2 2s. As Petra turns her dice over and they rumble and shake and they just roll up to this. You're at 7 4s between Raphael and Petra. And the giant's kind of you can see his shoulders bunch up a little bit.
Which gives us 9 total.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And he looks at Maladrek. All right, what do you got, Feathers?
I just flip them over.
Okay, and so you've got yours out as they. Where's Maladrak's here?
So we've got the 8.
Dicks. Okay, they were.
Yep, I've
So you got a 4
1
and a
through
5.
5.
Yeah, so you got a 4 and a 5 in yours, and he turns to Tur, and goes, "All right, little one, looks like it's you."
Yeah, so I'm gonna look at the giant, give him a wink, and then I'm gonna painstakingly lay my dice down one at a time
As you
until I get to that. I'm saving the 4 for last. So I lay down the 5, the 2.
Okay, so as you
3,
lay
1.
out the 5, he smiles. The 3 comes out. The 2 comes out, and he slaps the table, shaking the whole table.
No, I put my hands on top of my dice to keep them from rolling over.
Dex save, please.
All right, let's do it.
You have +3.
18.
Yeah, You make it. You save your dice.
Yes.
Like the rest of them, now that they've been revealed, are pretty much like almost glued to the table. But as you were like, yours were just shaking, and you could see everything. All the cups jumped, drinks fell over. He was trying to fuck with the table. You go, nope.
Yep.
And you pull your hands back, and there's that last 4. And he's like,
Oh, well.
and everything on the table slides back towards you, and the coin slides towards Raphael. Beside each of your items that you put down, there also appears, like growing up out of the table, a little silver card, basically estimating its gold piece value.
Wow.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, I guess that was a thing, wasn't it? And he looks at Raphael, the coin's sitting right in front of you.
Better pick it up.
And just rolls it between his fingers.
As you pick it up,
Good to have back.
you hear a cheer from one of the tables in the VIP section, then another table from out in the audience, then another table from out in the audience. People are suddenly winning big at the casino. And he's like, you can see he just closes his eyes. He snaps his fingers, and all the dealers look towards him, goes, we're shutting down for the night. Cash out. Everybody cash out. Tables are closed. Thank you for your patronage. And he's just staring late. You can leave any time now. Please see the till on your way out. They will happily reimburse you from the stock. And like lights start going out at the edges of the casino as he's saying this.
Amazing.
He comes.
Great.
Raphael comes up to Petra and he goes, "I'm so sorry that I asked you to give up your life, but you did so good."
Petra's just gonna like hit him a little bit in the shoulder and be like, "Next time, warn me."
Alright, cool.
All right, so you guys get to the till, and you are able to cash out what you had. Everything that you put on the table, the magical endowment on it has doubled. Okay?
Yeah.
So
Oof.
shit just got
Now I have
powered
an
up.
insane undead book.
Yep. The book's not really going to help you. But for everybody else that put weapons and armor stuff up there, we don't have time to like hand it out and issue it. But whatever the magical plus was on it, that magical plus has doubled. So I think you had like a
Oh, boy.
+2 weapon. It's +4, which is ridiculously powerful. But this is our last game, so
So what does that make Thum?
Thum, the damage and extra damage stays the same, but the plus to hit is doubled.
Oh, it's a +2.
Yeah, so it's now +4.
Cool.
Or if
Nice,
it was
okay.
+1, it's now +2.
Yeah,
What
'cause
about
a
my
+1
flail? My
mace
flail
without-
didn't have a plus.
It is now. I will double check it, but I believe it was supposed to be a +2 flail, so it's now also going to be a +4 flail.
Ooh.
All right.
Nice.
Oh snap!
So the
And
4
I'm
of you.
over
I did
here.
not have a plus attached to it
Oh,
this
well.
whole time.
It was
Yeah.
supposed to be a +2 flail, so it's now a +4 flail.
All right.
Likewise, Raphael, I think your items were +1 each. They're +2 each now. And Thum is again, at this point, legendary powered. You're not quite sure what magic they worked on things, but you handed over the chit and the item, and they brought them together, and there was like they took them into a vault and came back out, and everything is like looked like it was dipped in like mithril and the sun. They're just like shining with power.
Nice.
You are escorted gently but gruffly to the doors, and the door opens, and you can just everyone's just like not even saying a damn thing. As you're leaving, the little satyr comes running up to Raphael. Hey, Raph, I just want to let you know, um, yeah, you're not gonna be welcome back, buddy. Just and he hands you a pouch of gold and he goes, so here's what I owe you. Uh, but yeah, your face can't come back here, man. It's
He's just grinning from ear to ear. He's like, I've never been happier to hear that, man.
all right. And for Raph, the effect of your luck coin is much like that of Halfling Luck. You can reroll any crit fails, just like Halfling Luck. Um,
Okay.
if I had more time to expand on it, I would, but I don't want to overpower things. So
No, that's good.
you all draw together. The Planeswalker energy pulling on you. You find yourself back on the astral plane, and Raphael's silver cord is now wound around him, circling his wings, kind of highlighting them almost in a neon glow reminiscent of the casino. And the little web that the four of you have formed takes on that rainbow glow that comes from his wings. There's 2 anchors left.
Let's go get your hag.
All right.
Let's go.
Don't have to tell me twice.
Everybody, copy them, and drag you to the Cinder Hag's lair.
Hopefully, did I
Alright,
do this?
and-
Sorry, I'm just testing something really quick
That's
because
fine.
I don't understand.
Sure. I was just looking at mine going, I should. With
Why is
long
it?
rested,
Is that
so
only
we should-
damage?
That's just the damage, yeah.
Why is it doing this? I broke it. I shouldn't have fucked around with it.
I will go and adjust it real quick on your character sheet. It's in Beyond, or is it from
I
Beyond?
was doing it from Beyond today because
Okay.
you fixed it in Beyond.
I'm just gonna up my hit points because we lost.
Mhm. Just adjust this real quick. As the rest of you take in, arriving in an area that has lava behind you, a fountain of flame in another corner. The walls seem to be made of like pig iron. That hot smell of a frying pan, uncooked on the stove, is just going across your, like crawling into your noses. Um,
This was not the place I left.
You can see in the distance, it almost looks like etched over in this direction. There's like a large gate in this back wall here by this lava pit that looks like the front of an oven. And give me a moment here to adjust Thum.
Oh boy.
Okay, that's good.
Question.
Go for it.
If Tur rips apart her tunic and stuffs bits of cloth in her ear to the point where she can't hear very well, would that help her with saving throws?
Wow, that is cheap. No, no, it will
That
not.
is cheap.
That will not work.
Oh, that's hilarious.
I mean,
It
nice
was
try.
not-
You can definitely stuff your ears full of cotton if you want.
That's fantastic.
I don't think I can build this quick enough for it to be effective right now. So
No, that's fine.
yeah.
I'll just add it to
Yeah.
let me just make sure I fixed it from what I ended up doing. There we go. Okay. So I broke it so it wasn't rolling like the
Okay.
attack.
Oh,
So I'll
okay.
just add a plus. I'll add the plus to it.
Yeah, so it should be. Yeah. Okay. Cool. You got that then. Excellent. So you find yourself in this cavern.
All right.
There are a couple fountains of fire.
Lovely.
But you said there was a gate over here
Yeah.
that looked like it was an oven leading out.
Yeah.
All right. Well then, shall we?
Hmm.
Yep.
Okay. Anything we want to
This
do
is the place you were in?
preemptively?
Oh.
Yeah. From what I can remember, I remember it looking more oven-like and not just like a wall of or a cavern of flame, but won't she be in for a nice surprise when dinner fights back?
As we walk towards the gate, Maladrak's going to pull out his potion of fire resistance and drink it.
Okay. Good call. So you all start moving towards this open space. Give me perception checks, please.
What I'd also like to do too, before we fully, oh wait, never mind. Sorry, that's a reaction.
Okay.
I'll wait on doing that.
Is there
Perception.
any other prep that you want to do while you're in this hot space? As you look around, you notice there's these fountains of flame. You look at yourselves, and each of you is also in a much ruddier hue than you have been used to seeing on each other's faces. Maladrak's feathers are like ending in like little shining bits of like coal red. Raphael's wings themselves also have like little like glints of like phoenix fire floating through them. Jess, you notice like you've got like almost like sunburned skin on yourself. And Petra the same, that like even your hair has turned like a cherry red.
Hmm.
Tyr's gonna cast Zephyr Strike on herself before we leave.
Okay.
Bill's gonna pull out his new coin and go, I missed this thing. And he's gonna use it as a focus to cast Bless on you three.
Alrighty.
Oh, thank you.
Sweet.
Can you remind me what plus does again? It's a plus
Uh,
D4,
plus
right?
D4
To saving throws.
and attacks.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
All right. Tyr will take point, and she's got Thum out.
Alright.
Maladrak will follow.
Alright. As you turn the corner, you hear like cackling little voice like,
yes, it's so pretty. I'm gonna add to this, and then this one goes here, and I'll hang this one here. And oh, it's the loveliest oven ever.
God. Can I peer around this rock stealthily
yep.
to
Give
see
me
if
a
I can
stealth
see
check,
her?
please.
Yeah. Fuck.
Oh.
That's an 8.
Oops.
Damn it.
Is Pass Without Trace still active?
It is not. Time passed
Doubtful.
in the last place and on the astral plane. So, what do we got here for perception? That's not what I wanted to do. I wanted it to roll the dice for perception, not give me an explanation of what perception is. 7.
Dumb bitch.
Wow. Wow. Ow.
Dumb bitch.
Stopping to get some luck seems like the best choice that you guys made.
Yeah.
So you look around, and this hag You see her, she's covered in ashes. Her clothes are all smoldering. She's got this large stick that ends in a bright coal, and she's like holding it in the crook of one arm, and she's hanging a skeleton that she's like threaded together with sinew, and there's a whole wall of them on this back wall is all decorated with assorted small skeletons. And you can see there's also these 3 rings of fire that are sort of acting like a gate, blocking her little treasury.
They're just rings of fire. It's not like a wall.
No, they're rings. They're about 5 feet apart, but there's a lot of heat coming off of them. Passing between them, you think, would probably be very painful. Passing through them, even worse.
Well, we do have the Planeswalker ability, so we could do. Is it the dimensional slip?
Yep.
That where you could disappear and then reappear where you want?
Yep.
Like within the line of sight?
Yep, that's your a bonus action to do that, yep.
Oh god, that means I have to drop Zephyr Strike to do that. There's this area here, right? I can pass through there.
Yeah, you're still going to be passing like close enough for the flames to affect you, but you could sneak through there.
Just didn't want to waste this. I should have waited. It's fine. I've got 5 more spell slots. Fuck it. So Ter's gonna turn around and go, I'm gonna blink right behind her, and then I'm gonna hit her. So
Who's her?
So you guys-
Who's that? What?
I'll be ready.
She's right over here. Yeah. So Ter just kind of gives a signal to the rest of them, and then we'll do that dimension slip to come up right next to the hag.
All right, go ahead and move yourself where you'd like to be.
Okay. This is still close to the fire. Right? Oh, I'll pop here.
So the fire is in like right at the crosshairs of a 10 by 10 square. So anything passing in the 10 by 10 square would take damage. So you are not.
Okay, so if I put myself here or
Yeah, you're fine.
here, I'm okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll pop
I
myself
see
there.
it. Yeah.
And then
And you have one
have Thune
round
ready.
of surprise attack.
Amazing.
Okay.
And then we will do initiative.
Cool.
Yeah, so she's getting hit with Thune. Ah, that's what it is!
Nice.
Shit, you hag!
Again, y'all stopped for luck, didn't ya?
Jeez.
All right. That's a hit. So she's gonna do, what's that, 10, 15 points of bludgeoning and lightning damage?
Yeah. Oh,
Oh,
and because it's
yeah.
a crit, it's Thunder Wave, so she gets pushed.
Nice.
Back up against the wall. Yeah, she got slammed against
Yep.
the wall. Which would be an extra d6 of damage if you want to roll that.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, fuck you!
And out of luck.
That's okay. That's okay. I got a crit. And a surprise
Yeah.
attack on the hag. I'm so happy.
All right, let's roll initiative.
Amazing.
This is what
We
you
have
get
that
for eating
already.
children, you asshole.
All right.
That's 20 again.
Yes.
It's poetic. It's beautiful.
Oh man.
Jess is like, I get to go again. Thank you.
Thank
you.
Just appears out of nowhere and just gut punches this old hag. Like Thum activates and blasts her up against the rock, and there's like an old lady shaped crack in the rock now. And as she bounces down and lands on her feet, you get to go again.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm taking another crack at her. But first, spells. That's what I want. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hunter's mark her.
Mm-hmm.
So then I'll be able to deal an extra d6 whenever I hit her with a weapon attack.
Okay.
And I can go ahead and hit her now. This French toast.
No.
Plus a
That does
D4.
not. I missed.
Plus a D4 from being blessed.
Oh yeah. I don't think that's gonna help, but we're gonna try. Does that help?
You just hit her. You just.
Yes!
Yeah. Okay.
Her AC is 14. Yep.
Amazing. Cool. And then extra d6 every time I hit her.
So that plus,
Right.
so we got 7, 8, 9, 10 more points of damage.
Mark. And that's round 1 for that. Let me just double check that Hunter's Mark doesn't let me do anything else. Okay, yeah. Then that's it from me.
Raphael, your turn.
Oh, it looks
Oh.
like for some reason my initiative didn't go to the turn tracker.
Oh, what was it?
19.
In that case,
Yeah,
it's
you should
Maladrek.
for me. There we go.
Maladrak is going to run forward with his super fast 25 feet of movement and just ready an attack for anything that comes close to him.
All right. You can feel the heat from that circle of flame extending almost to where you are. It's like opening an oven. You're already standing in an oven, but it's like that way too close to a blowtorch feeling. I don't know if you
Yeah.
had that. Oh wait, you're a chef. Sticking your arm in the salamander. That's
Yeah.
you can see the hairs on your arms start to curl.
Yeah, totally.
And prepping an action. Raphael.
Okay, Raphael is going to move here. Let's see. Will he be able to see the hag from there?
Yeah, she's got half cover from where he's at.
Okay. I'm going to cast Blindness Deafness on her.
Yes.
She needs to make a Constitution saving throw.
All right. 6.
She is blind.
Conditioning blind.
At the end of each of her turns, she can make a new con saving throw. And then I'm going to do a smart bonus action, like you do, and cast Spiritual Weapon.
Alrighty. The magical coin appears, and this time, as it appears, there is a smiling face on both sides.
Nice.
And it starts spinning up, and you can see this smiling face almost takes on a three-dimensional hologram look to it. And it winks and then drives into the back of the hag. Who manages to look up and move her shoulders just enough that it goes right past her ear, just missing. Only just missing.
That's it for me.
Petra.
Alright. Petra is gonna run up around past this stairs you can see it. And she, seeing Raphael's coin, will also cast Spiritual Weapon.
All right. What's the form of hers?
It
a large
is
book?
Unifying Glass.
Oh, right. Okay. Go ahead and roll for the attack. 17 is a hit, yeah.
Oh, I'm an idiot. We have advantage against her. Because she's blind.
Ah, well.
Oh,
Those were.
hey.
Do you want to re-roll your spiritual weapon then, Ralph? Because she was blinded.
It's okay, it was my mistake.
Okay, we will leave it be. So Petra, that was your bonus action, spiritual weapon. Anything else?
There was something I wanted to do with my.
6 seconds.
Okay, we'll leave it. Yeah, so Petra will stay there.
Alrighty. Start thinking about the next thing you're gonna do. It is the hag's turn.
Mm-hmm.
And she screeches in pain and slams her staff into the ground at her feet, and the walls start shaking, and the lava pool over here like erupts, and then lava sort of pours down over top of the entire group. It covers this, I think, this whole area. What's her? Everybody but Petra. Spraying up and splashing over everybody but Petra. So that is dexterity saving throw, please.
Raph, you're gonna have an extra +3.
Everybody, you have a D4 to add to that as well.
You said
God
dex
damn
saving?
it, Tur.
Yeah, dex saving throw. Yeah.
So add your D.
11.
11.
Boom.
Raph with the nat 20. Very nice.
Maladrak got a 12.
All right. So, everybody that failed, or rather, Raphael, you will take 9 points of fire damage. Oh wait, sorry. No, you take 4 points of fire damage. It hits you and burns your clothes, but it doesn't hurt your skin as much as you thought it would. Then Tur, also, you failed, right?
Yeah, I did fail. Quick question. I do have absorb elements as a reaction.
Okay.
So I do have. It's really weird because it says like you could store 1d6 of a triggering damage type. Of this would be fire. That's one of the ones that it's covered by. So does this also? It says at higher levels when I cast it at a spell slot of higher level, because it's a reaction. Does that even still apply, or do I just say I'm gonna spend a spell slot?
Yeah, you just
at a higher reaction.
Yeah, you can say that you're gonna spend a higher spell slot.
Yeah. So that means I absorb 2d6 worth of damage to store for my next melee attack.
Well, it was 5d6 damage that was incoming. So yeah, you store 2d6, but you also only take 10 points of damage.
Yeah. Okay.
So you take half as much damage as you were expecting. And Maladrak, you're completely unaffected.
Dope.
I did it. All right, so I store 9 points of damage to deal out to her when I do my next melee
and
attack.
Okay, so cool.
just to clarify, this
Mhm.
like came sort of from the lake behind her.
Yes, it's sprayed, covering this whole area.
Okay.
You were just outside of the range of the spray. So she activated that, and that was lair action. So then she is also going to swing her staff at Tur. But that is only a 9 because she is blind.
Yes.
Yay.
So that is the end of her turn.
Cool. She's getting hit.
You're momentarily taken back by like lava striking you and only stinging a bit, but such is your life now.
All right. Oh, are you kidding me?
You have advantage because she is blind.
Oh, yeah, that's right, because she is blind.
And you
Let's
also
try
have a
that again.
D4 that you can add to it because you are blessed.
That's good.
Yeah, 19 is a hit, and you can add your...
She's also still a hunter's mark, so that's another D6.
Correct. So that's
And
gonna
then
be...
I'll just add a +9 to that, because that'll be the extra damage I'm dealing out.
So we got 16 plus... Oh, okay. So we got 21 points of damage.
Just laying into her.
Unfortunately, the
Jeez.
fire damage that you release on her heals her.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I'm stupid. I shouldn't have done that.
That's all right. So that was 6 points of healing. So from 15 points of actual damage.
That's fine. I won't do that again.
Did you just say that fire?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Oh.
Oh. She looks a little better after you burned her.
also oops. Also from the lava spray that happened just a moment ago. It also coated her and it meshed onto her flesh, almost providing her like armor made out of lava rock.
Lovely.
Maladrak.
Let's see. Maladrak is going to try and slip in between these fire rings and hopefully not take too much damage and end up next to Tur.
You're completely unaffected.
Woohoo! So yeah, I run through and I raise up my newly endowed flail and swing it at her.
It used to give off this weird buzzsaw sound, and now as you start to spin it, the head becomes almost invisible, and there's just a high-pitched whine like a dentist drill.
All right.
Oh, con save, thank you. She is no longer blind.
Oh, what?
Oh my.
Damn.
Okay. All right then.
So no advantage. I don't know why that didn't roll the attack.
We'll just roll the attack and still.
What the hell? Not sure why that's happening.
Well, we'll find out what's going on here real quick. I can tell you what the dice numbers are supposed to be.
Huh. Yeah, it should be plus 10 now that it's a plus 4.
Yeah, see, 3 proficiency is 3, 6 plus 4, so yeah, plus 10 to whatever, just the d20.
I will just manually roll it then.
Uh, 24 is a big hit. Yep.
Nice. Solid.
Now do you want to roll damage?
All right.
Yeah, it's another 14 points of damage. Boom.
So 12 bludgeoning, so plus the 4 would be 16.
All right.
Voice.
She just gets battered up against the wall and she like blinks in confusion. This is all happening so fast.
And then I will take my second attack.
Wow.
For a
the
30.
30 will hit. Yep.
Nice.
Oh my gosh.
And 12 damage.
Surprised and shocked, she's just leaning back against the wall, already bloodied and beaten, surrounded by weapons, surrounded by enemies. You guys are laying beating on this hag. And it is Raphael's turn.
All right. Raphael is going to activate his spiritual weapon.
That
Ugh.
is a
And
miss.
then he's going to cast Guiding Bolt.
That is a hit.
Okay. 13 radiant damage is he with this purple bolt of energy.
This purple bolt of energy hits the hag mid-chest, drives her back up against the wall, and you just kind of see her like compress and her ribs pop out a little bit and her neck turns at a weird angle and she just drops her staff. It clatters to the ground and her arms just and she just hangs there and her eyes just start burning.
Blister.
They start going from this black red to like lighting up like coals, and she just slowly ashes over and crumbles to the ground.
Sweet.
Amazing.
That went way faster than I thought it would. She only got one lair action out.
Surprise round. Suckers. Yeah.
As this happens, you see the entire cave, the fires start going out. It starts dimming and cooling almost immediately. And Jess, as you're standing there looking at this ash pour away, as it sinks to the ground, you see hanging behind this old lady is this small gnomish figure with a set of owlbear claws around its neck.
Ter's just gonna walk over to the pile of ashes and jump both feet into them. Bet you didn't think dinner would fight back, you dumb bitch!
Amazing.
Oh.
So what is this, like, I know you said that I saw it hanging there, but what is the overall condition the body is in?
The body is nothing but bones. It has been stripped bare of everything, and it's just stitched together with sinew at the joints, and the owlbear claws are hanging on the chest as a bit of a trophy.
Tur doesn't like the idea of her bones laying here as a final resting place. So Tur's gonna go, I'm sorry, this is gonna seem really extremely morbid, but I don't want to rest here for eternity. And so like Tur's just gonna take her bones and like try to cram as many of them into her backpack as possible.
You managed to fit your entire skeleton into your backpack. Without
Yep.
all the meat and squishy bits, it folds up very compactly.
Yep.
I gotta say, you've looked better.
Yeah, I mean, I can't believe I'm all skin and bones, but I mean, what are you gonna do?
I would make a food joke, but it seems off color.
Those sorts of things need to be seasoned.
Yeah, so Tur goes, yeah, and Tur will also take the owlbear claws too, and she put them in her backpack.
All right. So with the hag's demise, you can start feeling that pull of the Planeswalker's energy drawing you back um, to that gray realm of the astral plane, and you immediately know where you're headed next. And you start thinking about redirecting yourself because honestly, you made short work of that hag. She barely scratched anyone, and you find yourself suddenly very chill, very cold. Oh, I gotta grab. I think I have everybody. Nope, that's Fireball. I gotta go back and grab the characters. That's right, I can do it without you guys having to reload.
Man, my new channel divinity was reading minds, and I could have freaking read that guy's cup.
You could have,
New
yes.
abilities that you forget about.
You
could have,
absolutely
but you-
could have. So Maladrak, you see as you're coming in, the tail of a dragon. Um, it's facing up the cliff here into the cave entrance, where you remember standing facing it as it was breathing in, and there's now just this sheet of ice covering the area that the tunnel entrance that you had taken. Your teams, the other two teams of them having come in from other angles, flying in and scooting in, you see them poised, hovering in the air at the back of this dragon, waiting for the signal that didn't come.
Has anybody noticed us?
And are we still?
Nobody has noticed you yet. And sorry, what was your question?
Are we still blessed?
It has literally happened like the second after this last fight, so you still have however many rounds of Bless. It was only 2 rounds that fight lasted, so you still have Bless going, yes. I think it was on everybody except Raphael.
So Tur would like to look at Maladrak and goes, "Do you want me to try talking to it first?"
You can try. I don't think it's going to go very well, so everybody be prepared.
All right. I
Hearing this before Tur steps out, Petra wants to cast guidance.
cool. Can you remind me what guidance does again?
It gives you a D4 on an ability check.
Just once. Okay.
Yeah, it has to be used within the next minute.
All right. Yeah, I can do that.
Please.
As I look at her and say that Maladrak's gonna walk out.
Can I tell if the dragon is still actively breathing its breath into the cave, or has it ceased?
It has ceased.
All right, cool. I'm gonna do something very dumb. I've got a dimension slip, so I'm in front of the dragon.
All right.
To speak with him. Or them, rather. So I will move myself directly in front of him.
All right. For the rest of you, please roll stealth for me.
You're still getting the hang of the stealth thing, Petra.
You're shifting from like a really hot room to ice. It's like you're fogging up a little bit. Your eyes are like frosting up. It's really hard to see you stagger into something. You make some noise, and the dragon's like, you hear like one ear twitch back towards you, but its attention is drawn towards Tur.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Um. So let me. Oh, this is gonna be great. Charisma really shouldn't have been Ter's dumb stat. um.
I'm gonna go persuade it.
You have a D4.
Oh, okay.
I do have a plus D4. Yeah, it'll be fine. We have luck on our side, right? So
Yeah.
Ter goes in Draconic. She'll say, "Oh, great and mighty one, may I have a moment of your time?"
Didn't you used to have feathers?
Oh no, I'm merely an ambassador. I am not an Aarakocra.
What do you want? Huh? Sacrifice?
No, no, nothing so much as that. I do believe, however, there has been a misunderstanding
Mm.
between my companions and yourself, and I would like to seek a peaceful resolution.
They are trying to recapture what I have rightfully stolen. I don't see the problem.
As she's talking to them, I would like to try and get the attention of the two groups and like signal them to get ready.
Yeah, they are. They're a little surprised, by like when you walk out and you signal to them and like you see some blinks, but then the drummers on each side are like they like give you thumbs up and you exchange tactical hand signals real quickly and they're immediately ready to attack. You notice their makeup is exactly as you remembered it. You have 7 fighters, 2 bards, and 2 clerics.
Sounds good.
Okay, so he said they're trying to reclaim what he rightfully stole.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But why did you feel the need to steal, Great One?
Its head just like, I took what I wanted. You call it stealing.
That is not what you just said to me
Are you telling me what my words
moments
are?
ago.
Are you telling me what my words are? Don't try to make me use my words against me.
I'm not trying to make you use your words against you. Again, I'm only seeking to understand what the issue is.
You're using a
how we
lot of
can
big
come-
words. Stop with stop your talking, little. I'm gonna eat you.
Please
Oh,
don't.
no.
As you can. uh, so Tara's gonna reach into her backpack and go, as you can already tell, I'm already boned. And then I'm gonna try to regain a use of dimension slip really quickly, and then I drop like one of my bones and like poof back behind the dragon.
All right, go for it.
So I need to roll a d6
D6
because
to try
I'm
to
out of
recharge that. Yep.
I'm out of points.
This was well thought through. I like this.
Roll 1d6.
Come on.
5 or 6. Oh
No.
no!
Sorry, you do not recharge. And it just like cocks its head, and you can see it like rear back to snap at you. Let's roll initiative.
Oh boy.
Oh, sorry. I should have had my. I didn't have my token selected.
That's all right. There we go. 3d20 for me. So a 3, a 19, and a 7. I'm gonna do the Aarakocra support teams by team rather than individual.
That's good. There's a lot of
First up is Team 2. So these 3 fighters, you hear suddenly like just like pounding on a drum. Dun, 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 dun. The fighters all get blessed by their cleric.
Clerics.
And they all run in to attack the Dagorn.
Dagorn.
All right.
Yeah.
That's 3 of them with their attacks using. Oh, yeah, melee javelin attacks. A 16 and a 19 and a 22, and Frostbite's AC is 17, so that is a miss and 2 hits, so minus 12.
His name's Frostbite.
That is Frostbite. Yeah. Maladrak, you are up.
Yeah, Maladrak's going to run forward and try and get flanking with one of his teammates if possible.
Yep. That works.
And attack this fucking guy. For a 16.
That is just a miss.
Add your D4.
Oh wait, I have a
D4.
I have a D4 and it's also a +4 weapon. So
In that case, it's a hit. 17 is the magic number.
perfect. Which means I do 13 damage.
The speed flare just woof into it, and like dense scales, and you can like hear the cracking of bone underneath. And it
And I will do it again.
turns around and snaps back towards you.
$17 or it's 21, I guess.
That is a hit.
For 10 damage.
That is Maladrak's turn. Petra.
All right.
Oh, actually, I want to use a bonus action. I'm going to cast Shield of Faith on myself.
Alrighty.
It's a good idea.
I am going to use my bonus action to bring back my spiritual weapon. Be all up in there. There'll be a lot of surrounding this dragon.
Where do you want it to appear?
Between the dragon and the turret.
There we go. And it is technically flanking him, so you can attack with advantage.
Oh, cool. Maybe I can. That just spiritual weapon happened twice.
It hasn't happened at all. There it is. 11. That is a miss. The 25 is a hit, though.
Oh! That'll hit. Great.
Alrighty. So that's your
Okay,
bonus
so that's
action?
my bonus. Or act. So I move back. I am going to use my Planeswalker power to do a psychic.
Alright, go for it. Ranged melee attack. Or ranged spell attack.
You can do it.
Pressing the buttons. Come on, buttons, go. And Raph, you are on deck. So, Meg's nothing's happening.
No.
Nope. There we go.
Well, that's the damage if fails the saving.
Okay. What was the save
I think
on
it's
it?
just a wisdom saving throw. For I assume it's my spell save.
Yeah, so it'll take 1 point of psychic damage then. Alright.
And he has disadvantage on attack.
Okay.
Okay.
Next attack roll it makes before the end of its next turn. Okay. There we go. So that is it for Petra. Raphael, you are up, sir.
Raphael sees that. He's going to move up. Confident now. Let's see.
You
Real
need one
quick.
more space to be in direct flank. Like if you move to here, you'll be in direct flank with the fighter across from you.
Perfect. He is going to cast Beacon of Hope.
Mm.
So everyone within 30 feet of him, except obviously. You have advantage on wisdom saving throws, death saving throws, and you regain max HP from any healing.
Awesome.
Oh. Yep.
Alright, bonus action?
Bonus action spiritual weapon. You know it, baby.
Can you do that? You've already done one spell.
Oh, you're right. Okay. In that case, I'm going to just get ready to get hit.
Alright. And it is Frostbite's turn. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 critters. We'll see. First, we'll check this. Oops. That was the wrong button to press. Sorry, folks. Don't panic. Alright. Breath weapon does not recharge. It used it right before y'all got here. But it does turn to queue up its breath weapon. Starts inhaling, turning towards Raph. Nothing happens, so it's going to flip back and roll on these 3 Aarakocra with a claw bite. Hits the first one, rips it in half. Just like snaps it in half with its mouth. Claws at another one, ripping one of the legs wide open, and there's like a fountain of blood from this Aarakocra. And then clawing at the other one, and murdering it outright. Yep, these are just standard Aarakocra warriors.
Yep.
So that was its turn. Claw bite. And yep. Then we go over to team number 1. So team number 1, the fighters all roll in, flying in to like fill up the spaces, just surrounding this thing. And so that's 4 of them. So they are going to do their 4 attacks. What is his AC? 17. So that's a hit for 4. A hit for 5 more, so that's 9. 15. And 22 points of damage from the 4 Aarakocras. That is that team. The cleric over here, let's see how far he can get. Get there. He moves to there. Word of healing. And you see this one Aarakocra. He gets in place. Like, oh, not okay. Word of healing on that guy. He had been hoping to save some of his friends, but can't do everything.
And it heals for max. Yay!
Yeah, so it is going to be 8, 12 points of damage, 12 points of healing. All right, the bard comes forward, starts pounding on his drum, and shouts towards Maladrak, "Leader, you have us. You will defeat this. We will be victorious." And you are inspired, so D8 inspiration dice for you.
Sweet.
Yes!
Very cool.
Team number 2, there's only one of them still alive, so he will attack.
I think we skipped me.
Oh.
You know what?
I have
I
not had a
don't
turn.
see I
Yep,
don't see
she's
a
not
turn
the
for you.
thing.
That would be why. So,
That's
what was your initiative?
I believe I rolled a 15.
Okay, we will
I think I did. Hang
we will
on.
add you a
It
turn.
was something.
Sorry, I didn't notice that before.
No, that's all right.
Hey, you wrote a 15.
So we will just jump to you, and then we'll do layer actions. So Tur, you can go.
Okay. I'm casting Zephyr Strike on myself as a bonus action. So then I have 60 feet of movement. I would like to. How does it work when you're trying to go around?
Just do a couple points. So if you go from here to here, 15,
Okay.
15,
Yeah.
20.
So.
So that's 50 feet.
Okay, yeah. If that's 50 feet, then I'm gonna come right over here. And I'm gonna use this turn to do my extra D worth of damage if I hit him. Equipment zoom 22.
That is a hit.
Cool.
For
And
5
then
points of
one.
damage.
Hang on a second. And then we're doing the D8.
And another 4. Okay.
Okay. So first round. And then I'm going to back up 10 feet.
Okay.
10. That'll be it for me.
Okay. The dragon, as you have all gathered close, it takes its wings out and flaps them up in the air, and immediately a freezing fog fills a 20-foot radius sphere centered on the dragon itself. So, 20 feet. Gets everyone except for Petra and this cleric and the blue cleric and the blue bard. So everyone in there has to make a DC 10 Constitution saving throw.
Raph and Terry, you're gonna have an extra +3 from me.
Nice.
You said con save?
Yep. Just a 10.
How strong are these enemies? Whoa.
I don't have advantage, but I do have a D4 still.
So that means you'll make it.
Cool.
And so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of those folks. And it looks like 2 people failed it and everybody else made it. So
They did good. Good job, guys.
this guy is dead, frozen solid.
That's cool. It's not cool.
1, 2,
I just realized I made a pun.
and
Oops.
fighter is frozen solid.
We got a dragon.
So two more of the Aarakocra have frozen solid. The rest are injured. And everyone else that passed gets 5 points of cold damage. Anyone that failed, I don't think anyone failed, would be 10. So it's just 5 points of cold damage.
Let's go.
Okay, that's those guys done. Over on this side, the cleric does nothing, holding his action to cast a healing word on anyone that drops. And the bard is going to cast inspiration on Tur. So Tur, you have a D8 inspiration dice.
Nice.
Yes.
And the fighters that were on that side are all dead. So Tur's turn.
Yep. So I'm gonna move back in and hit him with the lightning, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get him.
So he takes 5 points of damage.
Maladrak, you are on deck, and Petra, you will be after him.
I'm also gonna back up again.
All right.
Get out of range. This time I'll move back here.
All right.
Near Petra.
Any other
Hi,
actions?
friend.
Or bonus actions?
No. My bonus action is keeping Zephyr Strike up.
Okay. Maladrak.
Is this guy still on the ground?
It is still on the ground. Yeah, just use its wing to blast cold at everybody.
Maladrak would like to attempt to get on top of him.
All right. Give me athletics or acrobatics.
Be aware that you're upper.
What's that?
You're blessed.
Yeah. So non-natural 20.
You managed to climb up on the dragon. Well, it is
Sweet.
it is surrounded by people, and it's like biting and clawing and snarling. So it's not easy terrain. It's difficult terrain, but you managed to get up there on its back.
And then did that use my action?
I would say that would use your movement.
Okay. Then yeah, I'm gonna try and lay into him.
Go for it.
So 14 plus my D4.
Maladrak, where are you getting the D4?
From Blessed?
Oh, Bless dropped.
Bless is done.
Oh, it
Bless
is done?
Yeah,
No more.
Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
no more Bless.
Yeah.
But you
Did
do
not
get, you
realize
do get
that.
advantage from all the other people that are attacking it.
Oh, okay.
That would be the 18. So you have a successful strike.
Sweet. Which means 17 damage.
Stacking anything else into that?
I am actually going to. Yes, I will spend a second level spell to smite this guy.
Go for it.
Smitey, smite, smite.
So another 9 damage, radiant.
This dragon is beat up already. It's got javelins sticking into its sides. It's like crushed sections of like spine and ribs from your previous attacks. It's howling in pain as you do your attack. Second attack.
Yep.
That's a hit.
Whew, yeah. So I'm gonna spend another second level spell slot and do that all over again.
Do it again. Do it again.
So 14 plus 12, 26 damage.
Last one of the game, man. How do you want to do this?
Yeah.
Oh, yes! Yeah, so I like run up on his back, and I use my first attack and just like drive into him as I'm running forward, and then I just kind of like toss my shield off to the side and like whip it up and bring it over my head and just jump onto his head and bring it down on top of him.
It hits the dragon square in the middle of its skull, and you actually see its horns on the side fold up together in almost a shocked expression as its skull caves down with the might of this smite flail bashing in its head. Moments later, the skull drops to the ground, and Maladrak stands with his talons dug in to just the back of its neck, standing proudly on its head as all the Aarakocra around him let forth this screeching cheer of success and victory over this creature that had taken over their eyrie. And there's a moment of silence as the clerics rush in and start doing what they can to help the four fallen Aarakocra. It takes some work, but they had Revivify handy. They managed to get them up, and the entire party, the attack party, I mean, technically survived because the ones that dropped were brought back, and the white dragon is dead. And as
Fuck yeah.
We just killed a dragon.
your friends and comrades gathered around you cheering, a few of them are looking at the block of ice up at the entrance where you can see this battle axe wielding paladin shape frozen in the block of ice, and they look at you and the radiant energy that you just brought down on this thing, and there's another cry of energy and victory. Like, you start hearing them screaming in Aarakocra that you have ascended and dropped down to save them and guide them all. And as this is happening, you can like feel the feathers of like ruffling out, and you start stretching, and you feel that energy, that planeswalker energy that has been traveling around you and binding you tighter to these four people, start glowing and like suffusing you with this angelic white glow. It spreads to your four comrades, and there's a flash, and the last thing you see are the cheering forms of the soldiers that you had brought to victory, clearing this dragon from your eyrie. And a moment later, it's all quiet and it's all gray. And you find the four of you floating on the astral plane, seeing these silver cords winding around yourselves and twining into each other. And one by one, the sigils that had bound you to a single place fade away into the distance, and you find yourself floating free on the astral plane. Your silver cords intertwined. And there's a moment of quiet and peace, and you can look at each other and consider all the things that you've been through and all the things that have happened. And there's a shining light that starts approaching very, very quickly. It starts zooming towards you, and it resolves itself into the draconic face of Korath that you had left in the Feywild in the circus. And he looks down at you and says, "Friends, I didn't think you'd all make it, but it looks like we've got some adventures ahead of us. Shall we?" And he starts turning towards the horizon where you see the glittering landscape of a floating city in the far distance. And he goes, "Let me tell you about this place I've been to. It's called Sigil." And we're going to end it there, folks. That's the campaign wrap.
Oh, that's great.
Thank
you
you,
all.
Don.
Thank you.
Thank you, Don. That
Good
was really
job.
awesome.
I'm so glad y'all enjoyed it. This started as a, hey, I'll just do a thing to fill in while we're, other stuff is happening, because we've got this blank space on Tuesdays, and it turned into a really cool story that I'm glad I got to tell with all of you. Thank you, everybody. And well, this is it. This is the last Planescape or Planeswalkers thing. So goodbye, internet. The videos will live in perpetuity because YouTube. So, with that being said, I'm going to press the red button. Anyone need to sign off or say goodbye? Dix?
Yeah, my name is Dix. You can follow me at Just the Dix on Twitter and Facebook, and I am super glad I was a part of this game.
Raph? Or, sorry, Sean?
I'm Sean. You can follow me at no tweet Sean. Follow at Thread Raiders. Come check us out. We love especially play or DM, or especially if you love to give to charity. Like, check us out.
Cool. Jess?
I'm just back. You can find me at Health Pack Stream on Twitter, and I also occasionally stream on Twitch. That'll be at Health Pack Streaming with an ing at the end. Like I said at the beginning of the game, I write 5e content. I'm currently working on a couple of personal projects. And Don, thank you very much for a really awesome game.
I'm very glad you could be here for it. Meg?
Yeah, hi, I'm Megan. You can find me on Twitter at Ceramic Owlbear. But I just really feel so privileged having played for almost a full year. It's like off by 1 week, having Don bring me in almost a year ago to this game. So that was really cool. Thank you for that, Don.
I'm glad you could. And I am the Dongineer. This will be end of the Planeswalkers campaign. My Twitch stream is probably going to be filled up very shortly with spoken word art because I am part of the wonderful spoken word community here in Regina, Saskatchewan, where it is a balmy minus 40 degrees Celsius today. So we only have our words to keep us
Gross.
warm. Yeah. So that's what
Wow.
we do is we stay at home and write things because it's too cold to go outside in the world. So that's it for me. That's it for this game. Thank you for anyone who watched now or in the future. And I'm pressing the big red button. So goodbye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.